He undone his window and shouted, "I've been waiting 7 minutes." I had already decided in my head, I'm not getting in a car with you. There's no characters in sport anymore. All these kids these days, they're media trained from the age of 11 years old, and they've got no personality or anything to say about themselves.
But I know we're always talking about fighting, but I feel like if there's somebody I could take, it's a chess player. Just a life-size cutout of you.
It wasn't even a good picture.
No, it wasn't. It was a weird picture.
Yeah.
Your hair was all weird. I used to punch it. Just getting on my tits.
Let me know. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Look at you trying to catch me.
You ready, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the Buckleys. It's a podcast. This is the podcast where we sit down, have a chat, moan a bit, and invite you into our lives. Before we do get into it, we need to remind you that you can get in touch with your stories and questions by emailing thebuckleys@platformmedia.uk. Do get in touch, please, for the love of God. Or you can message us at the Buckleys Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on Spotify or whatever podcast app that you like to use. And if you do enjoy the show, give us a review. Are we? I think we're almost at 5,000 reviews on Spotify. That'd be a nice little. To have 5,000 reviews. I feel like that'd be a good little thing to have. Would it? Don't know anymore. I don't know what's good or not. I remember when the first Inbetweeners film came out, and I'd never made a film before. The boys had never made a film before.
Was that the first movie? No.
It wasn't the first movie.
But it was first,
it was the first movie that I
one, yeah,
starred
yeah.
in. They were just like, fucking hell. Like, it's made this much money and it's done this at the box office and stuff. And all of us were like, is that good?
What does that mean?
Is that good? Or like, I don't know. I don't know at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
A film came out, Aliens versus Cowboys, or Cowboys versus Aliens, or something like that, right? It came out the same weekend as the first Inbetweeners film.
Right.
Right. The stars of that film, Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford. You had James Bond and Indiana Jones in the same film. We fucking mopped the floor with them. All right? There you go. What is it called? Cowboys versus Aliens? Cowboys and Aliens.
I've never even heard of that.
Of course you hadn't. You got, you know, the Inbetweeners movie came out that weekend.
Of course.
But yeah, I think we're doing good. I think we're doing all right. We're doing well in the charts at the moment, and you guys are listening. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's been going on in our lives this week, Claire? What's been happening?
I hate to say not a lot.
A couple of things happened to us this week. I'm just getting out of the other end of a hangover.
Yeah, we went out on Saturday night, didn't we?
I was really hungover yesterday.
This is Monday.
We did get quite drink. Still a bit drunk. We did get quite drunk over the weekend with a couple of pals of ours. We first decided that we weren't going to drink.
Okay.
We were having conversations. The conversations was like, do you know what? I think I'll just drive. It's fine.
To be fair, they said beer garden.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, we'll meet you at 1
Yes.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
They pushed us back to early evening.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm not going to drive in the evening.
Yeah, it's gone into sort of a
If it had been...
different sort of vibe
I
now.
was thinking
No.
lunch and I would have been fine with like a Diet Coke.
Well, that was it. We were both like, do you know what? We'll just I'll have a couple of lemonades.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then I was like, let's just get a cab.
Just in case.
We'll get a cab just in case I have one or two.
Correct.
All right. Cut to getting chucked out at closing time.
Yeah, they did ask us. They did tell us. By the way, but that was really early. It was a Saturday night. Last
They
orders
did-
were
they-
at like 8 o'clock.
It was later than that, but anyway, yeah. But they cut, and then I booked a cab, right?
Okay, I see where you got. Are we telling this?
You tell me where you want to stop this story. We booked this cab, right? We get out. Instantly, the cab driver starts shouting at us.
That's not a lie.
Like, he came in hot. He came in really hot. He said, and I quote, "I've been waiting 7 minutes." Don't get me wrong, you shouldn't ever make anyone wait for anything. Like, I was all geared up to apologise and, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, we were saying goodbyes and stuff like that and just paying a tab and things and just finishing up. I have, though, and this might be me being a bit of a dickhead or whatever, I've had cab drivers wait a bit longer than 7 minutes for me on occasions when I'm a bit fucking...
It was just the way...
Don't know what's going on.
It was the way he spoke. It was absolutely insane
He
how
was,
he talked.
he was like, who did I speak to on the phone who said they'd be a minute? And I went, oh, that was me. He like undone his window and shouted,
No, and then
I've been waiting 7 minutes. I had already decided in my head, I'm not getting in a car with you.
But
mate.
our mate first said, he was like, all right, chill
Yeah.
out. And then he went,
Yeah.
no, I won't chill out. Like, it was nuts.
I was like, I'm not getting in a cab with you now. After that, that energy isn't going to do well for us. But before I could say anything, I was about to be like, sorry about that, but I'm 7 minutes late. I'm sorry. What do you want to do with me? Like, what's going to happen here? Am I going to get arrested or something for making a cab driver work for 7 minutes? Before I could sort of get into a discussion with him, Claire politely told the driver that his services were no longer required and that he can leave. It was sort of that. You managed to get that sentence down to 2 words, though.
That's not true. First of all, the very first thing I said to that man was, I was standing at the window, I said, excuse me, I don't think you need to speak to us like this.
Is that what you thought had happened in your head?
I think that's the first thing I said.
Because what had happened was...
the first thing I said was, I don't think you need to talk to us like this.
As I say, Claire said to the driver, oh, we're very sorry about that.
I didn't say that.
But the position has been filled. Your services are no longer required. But you did, as I say, you did manage to condense that sentence into 2 words.
That wasn't the first thing I said, though.
Which, by the way, because the bloke was in such a rush as well, was very considerate of you.
The first thing I did say was, hold on a minute, I don't think you need to speak to us like this.
I know, he was fucking came from nowhere.
And then he said to me, are you getting in this car or not?
Yes.
And that's when I said, no, you can fuck off.
Yes. Claire told him to fuck off, which was absolutely fine because there was no way I was going to go. Like, then I'd just been told off. I'd just been told off. And he said, I've been waiting for 7 minutes.
And I don't even think I think he added 2 minutes on. I think it was 5 at the most. Yeah. No, I think it was absolutely shocking behaviour.
Yeah. And I was just
inevitably what happened, we were standing in a car park at night.
Trying to find another way to get home.
With no way to get home.
But the way he spoke and how angry he was.
Oh my God,
because
terrible.
you were a bit like...
I matched his fucking energy.
Because you were a bit like, should I not have told him to fuck off? And
I did say that, because our friends were still there, and then I sort of turned around, and then I was like, sorry, was that a bit...
And I said, no, there was no way I was getting in that car with him. I would have slept in this car park overnight before I'd have got in a car with that geezer.
Really weird.
So you say that nothing's been going on this week. Claire got into a fight. Claire got into one of her famous fights, which inevitably usually ends up with you telling someone to fuck off.
That's not true. That's not true. Don't do that.
Okay.
That's the first time I've told somebody to fuck off in a while.
Oh, it's been a little while, don't get me wrong. But you've told some people to fuck off in your time. And this is my thing. I wouldn't do it because I feel like you give them the power then. Yeah. I would have very calmly gone with a smile on my face. I would have gone, do you know what, mate? Don't worry about it. You've come out all this way and now you're not getting paid.
Yeah, you did say that to me.
So off you go.
As soon as I turned around from his window when he left, you went... If you'd have
just given me a second, I would have made him apologise to us and go, I'm really sorry, please, can you get in my car?
Right.
And I still would have gone, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Off you go.
Sorry.
But, it's different ways to do stuff. It's all, it's a melting pot. So Claire got into a fight with a cab driver. And to be fair, considering...
Argument. Stop saying fight as if I'm out bare knuckling every weekend.
No, but you are the Scottish version of Larry David. And I love you because of that. To be fair, what started off in the afternoon as, should we drive?
Should we drive?
Because we had a conversation and I went... I don't know.
That would be a great cutaway.
I know, because I went, I don't know, I feel like if I get there, I might fancy a beer. And you went, well, do you know what? I'll drive.
I did say that.
You can have a couple of beers.
I did.
And then
I just wasn't really feeling drinking.
Anyway, we fucking
Cut
drank.
to empty car park
we did
in the middle of the night.
It was
telling a cab driver to fuck off.
It was one of those nights where they called last orders, so we doubled up the round. So that we could make sure we could get a few more pints in just before we got chucked out. We did drink some as well.
Fun weekend.
It was
good
fun
weekend.
It was really good.
Couple of drinks, argument. Perfect.
And look at me now. Back on the horse. Straight away.
I tell you that.
Because I'm a pro.
Yeah, you're not a quitter, Jimmy. You're not a quitter. I've had to have a Lucozade this morning.
Right, Claire, I need
Yes.
to talk to you very quickly. Just want to keep people abreast about my Instagram algorithm
Oh, okay.
because I like people getting involved. I like hearing other people's algorithms.
Okay.
So I'm just going to mention my algorithms lately, the little rabbit holes that I've been going down.
Yeah.
People turning rundown old boats into livable homes. That's been coming up a lot for me. And then also still boat theme. It's been very boat heavy, my Instagram. Because again, you watch one.
That's it.
This is what I think got me into the boat stuff. I watched someone varnish a boat. It was about 45 seconds long, but it was sped up. And it was like the varnish sort of slowly took over the boat. And I was like, fucking hell, that was amazing. That was well good, that. Miniature remote-controlled airplanes. We love those. We love those videos, don't we, me and you? You love them. Some of these planes, right, are basically exact replicas of like fighter jets or jumbo jets. They use small jet engines and everything. Not like just like little propeller petrol ones. They cost an absolute fortune, can take weeks and months to build, and then they either just crash on the first go or they just or they blow up before they've even got like they're on the runway to take off. And it's like, poof, and it's like oh, someone really upset. It's like, oh no, this cost me 10 grand.
Wow, serves you right.
That's been my algorithm
Okay.
over the last few weeks. There you go. That was Buckley's algorithm. To do the theme song. Come on, James. Okay, Claire. The
Yes, James.
theme of this week's podcast.
Hit me. I should have read this, but
A spot of sport. Oh, Christ.
why do you have to lean forward for that?
Because it was stuck in me, that one.
It's grim.
I need, like, patted on the back and
You
stuff.
want me to burp you?
Yeah. It's Wimbledon season, Claire.
Oh, I do like watching Wimbledon.
Well,
only-
hold your horses.
Oh,
We're going to talk about it in a second.
This is what you do. Okay. I need to shake this Uber driver energy.
And given it's one of the biggest events in the British sporting calendar, we're talking all things sport.
Okay.
Now, we're not
We're not sporty
massively,
people.
we're not a sporty family, other than, of course, the Chieftains, the mighty Chiefs. Go on, the Chiefs.
Chieftains.
But our producers need a show and a theme, so here we are. We like a bit of tennis, don't we?
I don't mind watching tennis. Only the men's. I find the women's boring.
Nothing against women.
I'm only kidding. I was setting you up for a joke there.
Nothing against women. No,
I do prefer the men's.
We do like. I do like Wimbledon. I don't know. I'll be honest. I've lost my way a little bit since old Murray's retired.
Yeah,
Who do we
Andy.
support now as Britain? Who do we look for?
Draper. Jack Draper.
Jack
Is he the
Draper.
new bloods coming through?
Not heard of him.
No.
It was again back in my day. We had a fucking handful of people that we could watch. We had Tiger Tim.
He was rubbish though, was he not?
Yeah, he was, but everyone got behind. I think there was a couple of times. I think he might have made it into the final once. No, he didn't
Never.
make it to the final. It was semis, and then we also had Greg Rosetsky, who
Is he not Canadian?
he was Canadian, yes, but he represented Britain
Right.
at Wimbledon.
Pulled that old
Yeah.
chestnut.
So we had a couple in there that was always Tiger Tim.
I
Yeah,
love Andy Murray. Love him. Love his whole vibe.
of course you do. Of course you do. But Murray, fucking say what you like about him. Two of them. Won it twice.
Great.
Britain went for years
Yeah.
without having a Wimbledon title. Bloke
Yeah.
did it twice.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Wimbledon is a big deal. Got to go at some point.
Oh, we won't get invited to Wimbledon.
You've been invited.
When
Have
have we
we?
been invited?
I got an email last week.
Oh, we've been invited to Wimbledon.
Yeah.
We need to go.
What, like a posh invite?
Yeah. The problem is.
A buffet?
I got a buffet.
I'm there.
It is.
How have we got invited to that?
Because they will just invite anyone to anything these days.
Right,
Claire.
okay.
The only problem is it is south of the river, so
Too far. We'll see how we feel.
we'll see how we go. We'll see how
Give
we
them
go.
a solid maybe.
And I don't like strawberries, but I do like cream.
Well, I like strawberries
Can
and
I-
I don't like cream.
But you don't. Would you have the strawberry mixed in the cream?
No.
I don't want any strawberries coming in near my cream.
Mm.
Can I just sit there with a bowl of cream?
Just you and Prince William next to
Am
each
I
other.
allowed to do that? Yeah. Are you good at any sports, Claire? Is there any sports that you're good at?
All of them.
Of course you are. Fucking hell. Forgot who I was talking to.
I don't think I've ever tried anything that I've not
Darts.
been amazing at. No, I'm joking. No, I don't really. No. I didn't really do sports when I was younger. I played football for a little while. That was it. I was a dancer.
Me too. Is dance a sport or a game?
Darts. I mean, I would say it's is that a sport? Yeah, don't know. It's classed as a sport, isn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, if we were gonna take up something, probably darts is quite
Probably
well
darts,
suited
yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're big ice hockey fans these days. That's
Absolutely,
our sport.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our sport.
Well, see, my thing is, right, is I don't, and I stopped a few years ago, and people would have noticed this, is that I don't talk about football anymore publicly. It just opens up a big old can of worms, and people get ever so passionate and angry about it. I'm sort of turned off of football, to be honest with you. I think it's become something that I don't really enjoy, that I don't really like, and also I think the product just isn't good. The last few times where I have sat down and watched a game, big matches between two big teams, it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
There's no fucking people doing anything interesting. There's no characters in sport anymore. All these kids these days, they're fucking media trained from the age of 11 years old, and they've got no personality or anything to say about themselves. It's well boring. So I'm a sort of football refugee, and I have turned to a lot of American sports.
Yeah, you have.
Because I do like sports. I do like following a team, and I am missing my football fix every
Right.
weekend. I mean, I used to just every day.
Yeah,
I'd
Sky
read
Sports News
I'd
was
read
on
about
constantly.
football. I'd watch the ticker on Sky Sports News. I'd
Yeah.
have Talk Sport playing in the car.
Yep.
There was so much interesting stuff going on with football that I could consume. Nowadays, I can see the people that write and comment on sports and stuff like creating something to talk about
Right.
with football because it's boring. There's nothing going on. So I've been watching a lot of NFL over the last few years. Do like a bit of basketball, and of course we've gone ice hockey mad. Absolutely love ice hockey. If we're not watching the Chieftains, we've got NHL TV
Yeah.
on in our house
The
and
thing
stuff.
about watching a hockey game, like you're saying, even just when we watch, a Kings game or a Rangers game or a Panthers game, we just watch them all.
Montreal Canadiens, obviously.
Canadians, obviously, but it's just they're always fun to watch.
They're just really fast,
It's
really
fast.
exciting.
It's
I don't know the rules, but you don't have to know anything about it. There's one sort of rule about an
puck over the
offside
line,
rule,
yeah.
right? But that's not even important. The players are trying to get the puck towards the other goal and then get it in the goal.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know about ice hockey.
fight
and
a
then there
lot.
is a fight. There is
And
a little
also
scrap, which is
it's-
super exciting.
It's very even when they're not actually fighting, it's really there's just always something going on.
There's
it's
always
just fun to watch.
Yeah.
God, that one we watched the other day, when that one of he pushed him and
Oh,
he hit his
yeah.
head right on
Yeah.
so where the glass meets the rink,
Yeah.
there's like a little
There's like a lip.
he smacked his head right on that, and then like you were going, oh, that wasn't, no, it was Harrison was
Yeah.
going, oh, that wasn't too bad, and then he looked up and he just had blood
Yeah.
gushing down
He'd
his face.
smashed his head through his helmet.
Oh, yeah,
Try and do that.
great to watch.
Yeah, it was fantastic
So
entertainment.
exciting.
So, because I find football boring, the production team here have given me a list of alternative sports
Right.
that maybe I could get into. Maybe we could get into together, Claire.
Okay.
First of all, we've got chess boxing. It involves
Chest or chess?
chess boxing. So players alternate between rounds of chess and boxing.
Fuck off, is that
You
a real
win
thing?
by checkmate or knockout.
I mean, listen, I know we're always talking about fighting, but I feel like if there's somebody I could take, it's a chess player.
So what is it then? Like,
I just go run all the
You'll do a
tables and knock them
move.
out.
you'll do a move, he'll do a move, and then what? A minute of boxing or something? Yeah, pretty much.
I would 100% watch
There
that.
we go. Extreme ironing.
Oh, no, fuck off, I'm not what now.
Extreme ironing originated in Leicester. It involves ironing clothes in extreme or remote locations, like on a cliff edge, underwater. How do you iron underwater?
Yeah, no.
Or while skydiving?
Yeah, no.
Worm charming. Now, I've seen this. This has been about for years. Competitors coax worms to the surface using music, tapping, and dancing. No digging allowed. So you get like the officials will make a grid out of twine, and then you get your grid, and if you try and make a worm think it's raining or something like that.
No, that's fucking ridiculous.
It's exciting stuff.
No.
We've got bed racing here. It happens in Knaresborough in North Yorkshire. Teams race beds on wheels through the town
I've seen that.
and
yeah.
across a river,
How'd you get a bed across a river?
a bridge.
Oh, is that actually what it is?
Ask a
Not in
stupid
the
question.
water. Oh.
Toe wrestling.
Ugh.
Two opponents interlock toes and they try to
Ew.
pin the other's foot down,
Oh,
like fun wars for feet.
that's grim.
Bog snorkeling. Swimming through a muddy trench using only flippers and a snorkel.
No, it's annoying me now.
Wife carrying. This originated in Finland. It's now global. Men carry their wives through an obstacle course in the shortest time possible.
I'm quite light.
Yeah.
To be.
Ferret legging. This is a traditional Yorkshire sport. Competitors put live ferrets down their trousers and try to keep them there the longest. Gravy wrestling. Lancashire. Of course. Northern boys love gravy. Contestants wrestle in a shallow pool of lukewarm gravy, judged on wrestling skill and performance. And then, of course, we've got cheese rolling. You know that, surely.
Yeah.
Even I know about that.
Yeah.
People hurl themselves down a steep hill, chasing a 9-pound wheel of cheese.
You know what we should go to? The Highland Games.
I'd be well up for that. Fucking
That'll be fun.
hurling and all that. No, what do you
Toss the
call it?
cable
Yeah,
and all
toss the
that.
cable. Yeah, hurling's island. Yeah, is that where they get a log?
Yeah.
Get a fucking log.
Yeah.
The game is basically trying to see how far they can throw a tree
Pretty much.
that's
yeah.
been pruned.
Yeah. Yeah, but they do.
Because a
loads
log,
of-
if you think of a log, you might think of a log that you could put on a fire or something. No, I mean a fucking tree.
I'll tell you what I used to like watching.
Go on.
I don't know if this is a sport. It's more. It was a TV show. The
Strongman.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Strongman
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant.
show. I used to love that with a big massive ball.
Yeah.
You'd have to carry it
Yeah.
along.
And it's just
pulling the lorry at the end.
and it's always like they could just get a weight that weighs that, or we could chain 2 fridges to a stick.
Yeah.
And you have to lift it up and carry it.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved
Yeah,
that.
it's well good.
That was well good.
Yeah, World's
I could
Strongest
get
Man.
into that. World's Strongest Man. I would go and see. They don't do that anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do. It's on Channel
Do they?
5. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to go and see that.
That's what we want to get invited to,
Yeah.
Katie.
Wimbledon.
World's Strongest Man.
Right, where are we?
Claire, it's time for one of our regular features. Bang for buck. Jingle me.
Is it bang or is it buck?
What the fuck was? I thought, what happened to the wee money thing?
You didn't like it?
Well, I've got news for you on the new one.
Hang on, go again.
Is it bang or is it buck?
That's you. Isn't
What
it?
is he saying? Is it
bang
or is it buck?
That doesn't make sense. Is that you? Is that all you?
It's a joint effort. Look at you.
Harmony.
Okay. All right. Listen, this podcast is a work in progress. We're still learning. We're still learning how to do this together. We'll find out. Try again. This is a segment where we discuss a recent purchase and whether it was bang for buck or not, and plus the reason, if any, behind buying it.
Yeah, that doesn't even make. You said, is it bang or is it buck? That doesn't make sense.
Let's-
That's not what.
Uh,
Are we moving on?
we've got to. We've got. we have-
Bang for your buck.
or bang for buck. We still don't even know
It's
really
not
what the
bang
title is.
or buck.
This is all the stuff that the listeners are going to be saying, Claire. And you're
Okay.
spoiling it for them.
Sorry.
Basically, in the past, I've spent a few quid on something or another that Claire has maybe said was stupid, and maybe it was a bit stupid. So I want to hear what you guys have been spending a lot of money on that isn't very good. I've got a recent one.
You?
Yeah, it was a
What
little. It was a little drunk purchase. Because our eldest, he
Oh.
does boxing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it came up on my Instagram, and it was Apollo Creed's shorts,
Yeah, the American.
the American flag shorts from the film Rocky, and I got it customised with Buckley stitched in these shorts for Harrison, for my son.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, he'll love that. And I'd had a few beers when that came up and I saw that. I was like, I'll buy that. With postage and packaging and stuff like that, I think I was 90 quid down for some shorts.
Yeah. Garish.
And they took ages. They took months
Well, that
to
was
turn
it. You
up.
paid for next day.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I paid for like
Yeah.
next day
Delivery.
shipping.
Yeah.
I think they call it.
Ah.
I think you've got to.
Oh, right.
I think they've got to make it first, and they'll send it out straight away.
Right.
Because if you don't pay for that, they'll make it and then just hold on to it for a few days. Anyway, I bought these shorts. Really smart, really nice. Gave them to Harrison. I was like, here you go. How about that then? And he went, oh, I'm Scottish.
He went, why did you not get the Scotland flag?
And I went, well, that's not. I was like, you know what they are, right? And this is a boy that, look, only a couple of weeks ago did a Rocky marathon by himself.
Yeah, he did. He loves Rocky. He did know what they were.
And he was acting like he didn't know what the shorts were.
I think
And
he
I was
did
just like, and
slip
the whole
his
thing,
mind. I think
the
he
whole
was a
thing
bit
was
like,
such a big disappointment. I was like, well, no, because they're. And I went, well, you know what they are, right? He was like, why didn't you get the Scotland flag? I went, well, but they're Apollo Creed shorts. I thought you'd like it. I was like, I thought you'd enjoy it. And he went, oh. He went, why didn't you get Rocky shorts? The black with the yellow stripe.
The stallion, yeah.
And I was like, because I didn't. Because I didn't get those ones. I got you the Apollo. Like, I saw it came up and it was a nice thing that I thought you did. I was like, give them back.
I did say that when you brought them out the packaging. I did say, why didn't you get Rocky's ones?
Because they're the Apollo Creed's ones. Rocky's ones are quite nondescript. They don't really do anything. The Apollo Creed ones. And Rocky ends up wearing them eventually.
He does,
Apollo gives them to him. I think it's in the third film that he ends up wearing them so he can fight Clubber Lang.
Yeah.
And I said all this at the time.
Right, the problem for
I don't know
you-
if does he fight Clubber Lang in the he definitely fights Ivan Drago in the
I was
American
gonna
ones.
say it's the big guy. He does in the American ones, the big
Yeah,
blonde fella.
Yeah. Is it when he beats the, spoiler alert, Ivan Drago kills Apollo Reed in a fight.
Apollo Reed?
Apollo Creed, sorry. And then Rocky.
That's so
no.
sad.
It's in the third film when Apollo gives Rocky the shorts because he's like, "You've gotten too soft. I'm taking you back." Like they go to LA and stuff.
Is that when they're running down the beach?
Yeah, and they go back to the roots.
Anyway, the problem with those shots were that you thought they were so bang for your buck that you got angry when anybody questioned them.
It was
Because
just
me and Harrison both sort of were like, oh,
right.
okay.
All right, put yourself in my shoes.
Okay.
I've had custom made. Right, first of all, you do boxing.
Yes.
First of all, you love boxing. You love the sport. You love watching boxing.
He loves Rocky.
You love Rocky. You love the Rocky films.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad gets a custom made Apollo Creed boxer's shorts for you.
Yeah.
And the response was so lukewarm. And I was just like,
mate.
honestly, he was lucky that I wasn't walking out the pub, getting chucked out the pub at that point, and after a few beers, because I would have gone, you can fuck off then. You can go fuck yourself as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, give them back to me then.
You did get a bit annoyed, yeah.
I thought he would have gone, oh, brilliant.
He did. He said, I like them. He was like, no, I do like them.
It weren't good enough. It weren't good enough. Anyway,
It's like the shit Rolex you bought me. No, I like it.
Imagine that. Imagine someone saying a shit Rolex.
I'm joking.
No one said that before. No one in the history of human beings has ever gone, that Rolex is a bit shit. Anyway, we do have a bang for your buck from George here. Georgie boy. The subject is
Georgie.
cut out for it. George says here, I bought a life-size cutout of James Buckley as Jay from The Inbetweeners for 35 quid. It's in the corner of my room, and when I wake up in the night sometimes it freaks me out. And I
Imagine how I feel.
And I feel
When
like
I wake up in the middle of the night, he's lying next to me.
and I feel like he's always watching me. Is this
Same.
bang for buck or Claire's living nightmare? He says it. Love the podcast, George. Well, George,
Oh, no,
it's obviously not bang for buck because you were the one that bought it and you're complaining about how much you hate it.
There was one time where James was working away
There
in
was
America.
There was a year in my life and I worked it out that I spent nearly 10 months away working
Right.
in a calendar year, which is a
Yeah.
long time to be away. I was coming back now and then, but 10 months of that year,
Yeah.
I
What
was away working.
What a year.
Did you enjoy that one?
What a year. Oh, God, it's so good. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, but you were working away for a long time.
Yeah.
And the kids were still quite young. This must have been, I'm thinking maybe 2020.
No, this was
2021,
pre-COVID.
Whatever. It was probably a couple of years before COVID then.
Yeah.
So the kids were still really young,
Yeah.
to be fair. And they did get to a little point where they started saying like, oh, I miss Dad.
Yeah.
And they were FaceTiming you a lot and stuff. So James took it upon himself. I got a knock at the door one day, delivery, opened it up. I was like, what? First of all, I was like, who sent me this? This was freaking me out. He had bought a cardboard cutout of himself.
Yeah.
And sent it to us
For the kids.
so that the boys could have him in the living room,
It's life size.
life size. So it was only little, to be fair. It didn't take that. And the boys would not. They kept that
Yeah, it was in their playroom for
for
years.
probably about 2
Yeah.
years. Every time I would walk in, it was just a life size cutout of you.
Yeah. It wasn't even a good picture.
No, it wasn't. It was a weird picture.
Yeah.
Your hair was all
Yeah.
weird. But anyway, Jude was really small, and he was only about, I reckon he was only about 3 or 4,
Yeah.
and he did used to go in and like hug it in the morning, be like, "Hi, Dad."
Oh, bless him. But yeah, definitely
I
not.
used to punch it.
And that is what happened to it. Because there was a day where it was like, should we get rid of this now?
No.
And so you and the boys were pretty much like, yeah, we might as well get rid of it, but not before we rip it and punch it and stamp on it and things like this.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to feel. I was like, oh.
No, but there was one day where my sister, I went and picked the boys up from school, and as I walked in the door, she had stood it right in front of the door, and I shit myself, and I did punch it, and it broke, the neck broke a little bit, so your head was a bit floppy.
Yeah. I don't know why you wrote in and asked us if that was bang for buck or not, because I think you know the answer to that. Considering you're even complaining about it, how much it freaks you out. It doesn't seem like you get any pleasure from it at all whatsoever. So I'm guessing I'm going to go
does
with...
he?
I'm going to say that's not bang for buck. What's the not bang for buck theme? Or something like, come on, James. Jesus Christ.
Sake, fucking useless.
Right. On that disaster, on that bombshell, we should probably say our goodbyes, Claire. Thank you very much for listening. If you do want to get involved with some stories or messages, you want to get something to me and Claire, our email is thebuckleys@platformmedia.uk, or you can use @thebuckleyspod on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on Spotify or whatever podcast app that you like to use. And if you did enjoy the show, then why not leave us a little 5-star review? We're getting close to 5,000 reviews on Spotify, which I think is I think that's something I don't really have much going on in my life that I could be proud of, and that's one of them. So thank you for listening. All that is left is for Claire to say,
See you next Thursday.
there we go, that was a podcast, we did it, that was another episode, go on the Chieftains!
Chieftains!
Chieftains!